what happens when you don't need your savior anymore? Okay. That is a question that I asked myself the last time I pressed record, the last time I pressed send. And I want y'all to know that, first of all, I was wrong. Second of all, it wasn't a savior. And if you're wondering, what are you talking about, girl? It's content, okay? If you're new here, I started my business in 2020 in a pandemic after being fired from my job. Everybody was inside. And I didn't really know what else to do other than to start creating content. And I want y'all to know, I pressed record every single day for the better part of 2 years, fully committed to sharing my message, creating my brand, having fun, and most importantly, building a community, right? And so then, I don't know, you know how you just get in your head about nothing? I was like, content gave me what I need, but my business is good, my systems are tight. Do I need this? And so I convinced myself that content was just like a revenue generating activity, but it was so much more. It is so much more. It is optimism, fun, information. It is amazing, okay? And as somebody who is of the Jetsons generation, how cool is this, okay? How did I forget that this was fun? But in that time, I want you to know that I took very good care of myself. I took very good care of my business, and in no uncertain terms, was it the right decision? I have worked most of my life, and I just needed a break. And I needed a way to create capacity and to get excited again and to feel creative again. And most importantly, I wanted to figure out, what does showing up mean to me? Because for a long time, like I just said, content was so attached to a version of my identity that I was no longer familiar with. And what I realized is that that detachment didn't mean I had to let go of my community. It didn't mean I had to let go of the things that I just love, okay? I love yapping. I have the gift of gab. And so, of course, content came naturally to me. Let's see. What else can I share with you? This is hard, okay? And this is probably why I've also felt it necessary to come back and chat with y'all. I thought I was going to come back with a polished rebrand, new colors, new business idea, AI-enriched revenue. I was ready. And let me tell you, what's for you is for you, and what's not for you is not for you, okay? Now, what I'm about to share frustrates me still, but we move on, okay? And if you know anybody who has experienced something like this, please share it with them. And I hope that this resonates with you in a way that feels really natural. So, while I was out on my content sabbatical, okay, that's what we're calling this, what I realized was I wanted something fresh. I wanted something new. You know how, let's say you want to start working out, right? And so what you do is you'll be like, I'm going to get me some new clothes. I'm going to get me some new shoes. And I'm really going to just show up differently, right? Because that new thing, it creates a different kind of attachment, right? So imagine my dismay and my disgust when in the midst of me deciding, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show out. Y'all, you know what happened? The name that I created for my business, the new name, somebody else trademarked it, okay? I know what you're thinking. Not a big deal, Chanel. It could happen to anybody. But it doesn't matter if it can happen to anybody. It happened to Chanel. It happened to me, okay? And let me tell y'all, this is so hard. It's so hard. Let me tell you everything that I did to make this seamless, and ultimately what happened, y'all. Okay, I was like, I got this idea. Okay, I'm just gonna tell y'all. The name is Deal Brain. I was like, yes, Deal Brain, AI-enriched revenue. It is AI-empowered systems. We are people decision making, AI task masters. We got it. And so I hired all these people to produce this high level, amazing, okay, information. I was out going to events. Okay, let me show you how serious I was. I was out at events for this brand using this banner. First of all, it's upside down. Okay. I was so proud of this banner, y'all. Okay, I was proud like the person who, okay, I don't know how old y'all are, but back in the day, it was Jordan gym shoes. I felt like the person who was the first the first one to wear the new Jordan gym shoes to school, okay? I was so excited. And then, do y'all know that somebody trademarked Deal Brain before me? So my big, polished, magical, incredible rebrand flopped. Worse than flopped, it shelved. Let me show y'all my banner, okay? Look, can you see that? Uh-oh, I don't know what fell. It's AI helping you make more, come on, money, okay? And then look, I was so proud, so proud. Look at this. Look at my logo, okay? Well, this is the only time you're ever gonna see it because I cannot use this name. And so, after being gone for so long and just really full of endorphins about, oh my goodness, I've rolled over it. Whatever. Full of endorphins about this new business, to then just have to say, no. just no. And to, in the midst of all of that, right, to still have to champion, to still have to show up for the business, to still have to show up for clients, and still just be the version of myself that I truly enjoy. But you know what? I have a new mantra, okay? Because the night I came in with the name Deal Brain, I had the instincts to go ahead and trademark it. But I was like, you know what? No, let me talk to the right people, fold this up the right channels so that I don't mess this up, right? I'm gonna do things the right way. But let me tell you something about the right way. Activate speed, okay? If it's right, there should be speed, okay? Don't wait until, I don't know, till you think you're ready, because ready is literally just subjective. And even though I thought that this was gonna be the thing, it just didn't really, I don't know, it wasn't meant for me. That's all I can really say. So what was the point, right? The point for me was taking this time back. I thought I had to have a big grand rebrand. I thought I had to have a new logo. I thought I had to have some great explanation for why I was taking a step back. But the truth of the matter is that I took a step back, but what I did in the midst of that was remember that I have muscle memory and trained myself for the long haul. We are still revenue advisory. We're still at the forefront of systems. We still are passionate about infrastructure. We are still serving our clients. And nothing changed, okay? That new name was just something that I felt I needed because I missed it. It's kind of like, you know, you show up to somebody's house you haven't seen in a while with flowers. And so I thought the flowers were, hey, here it is. But what I really needed to do was just build in public. I needed to tell y'all that somebody who is learning, who has been successful, who is successful, who does really well, who loves themselves, who's passionate about their work they do, who goes hard for their clients consistently, who really just love this work, okay? None of that replaced the fact that sometimes the best laid plans have to be pivoted from. And so here I was pivoting into a pivot to the next pivot, right? But the thing about being an entrepreneur is that, or business owner and a leader, is that with every pivot is another pivot pivoting, okay? Pivoting is a skill, is a mastery. And so while I felt imperfect and almost angry because I had a perfect plan, and you know what plans are? Systems, okay? And my system did not turn out the way I wanted to do, but that's okay because it doesn't matter, because I still had a conviction and a passion to support businesses. I still love middle market companies. I still love helping people dig into the weeds of their revenue and figure out, you know, how do we retarget clients? How do we make this better? How do we perfect this? I love this. And so it doesn't matter if it's called Deal Brain or Closium or, I don't know, red flower, red lipstick. It doesn't matter. No matter what it's called, the texture of what we have created is so powerful. The team is still amazing. And so I am back. I am ready. And I just wanted to share with you guys that it's only failure if you quit. And so more than a week ago that happened to me. It hasn't stopped me from reaching out to folks. It hasn't stopped me from going to events. It hasn't stopped me, because what I recognize is that when you're a solopreneur, that kind of thing slows you down. But when you have a team, the team's looking for direction. The moment I realized that we couldn't use Deal Brain, I had to show up the next morning. I was hanging out with my friends, y'all. I was hanging out with my friends, having a good time. Why was I hanging out with my friends deciding to look at the trademarks? We don't know. We listen and we don't judge. But it doesn't matter. I did. So I had to go back and still have a rowdy good time with my friends. And then the next morning, wake up on my team and give them 2 important pieces of information. Deal brand is dead. Closing is back. And we just have to press forward. And while baby entrepreneur me, 2020 me, that would have took me out. I would have been like, this is a sign. It's not meant to be. This me, the leader, okay, the champion, we just move on. And so this is not a rebrand. It's just me saying, hey y'all, I'm back, okay? I'm back in my seat and I can't wait to continue to share with you guys. All right, nothing to sell today. Just want to let you guys know what's up. So I'll talk to y'all soon. And also, if you're somebody who's watched my videos and you follow me, say, hey, what's going on with y'all? It's been too long. Please drop all of your good news, my need to know about who I should follow in the comments. I appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye.